Welcome back to another episode of Dante's Dialogues. I am Dante and I'm your host. You will notice there is a little bit of a recording quality discrepancy through each episode. Sometimes I record on my Mac, sometimes I record on my desktop where I have to be a little quieter, but the quality usually is a little better on there. Today I'm on my Mac. It allows me to be in a part of the house where I can talk a little louder, a little clearer. I don't feel like I'm having to whisper the whole time, then turn the volume up. So, just a heads up if you do notice these discrepancies through each episode. But welcome back. I appreciate you being here and listening to me. Today's not going to be a normal day. I have nothing written down. I want to try to make this more of the norm. I want to kind of talk about what's on my mind, have a conversation about what I'm thinking about rather than writing a bunch of stuff down and trying to make the perfect episode. I'll maybe write some things down to remind me that I want to talk about them, but I don't want to just write it all down and just be stuck trying to follow a script because it doesn't feel authentic doing that. So, first off, we're going to get into a couple of sports things that's happened. First off, I just watched the Lakers beat the Bucks in double overtime thanks to an Austin Reeves deep three. That was a fun game. They had no LeBron. AD went crazy. He had like 30 and 20 with like four blocks or something. Giannis had a crazy game. It was fun. It was fun. The Lakers are starting to surge a little bit. They're beating good teams again. So we'll see if they're just finally hitting their stride or not. But it was a fun game. Um, Celtics did clinch the Eastern Conference. So they are pretty much wrapped up. If they really wanted to start wrestling, they could. I think they'll probably keep playing. If they can lock up the top seed in the NBA, that would obviously be a nice little bonus going into the postseason. But I do think they got to play it smart. So hopefully they do not try to, force their way through every single game and end up losing a Jason Tatum or somebody that could really be crucial, to your team's success in the playoffs. In the football world, the owners had their official yearly meeting about the rules that they're going to be implementing, and we did get a few. We have one where they're going to be giving a third challenge flag. We have also got a new kickoff situation. I don't know all the details. Like I said, I didn't write any of this down, but essentially, it's gonna be like the XFL if you ever watched it. So, they'll kick it off, and the kicking team nor the receiving team can move until the ball has either hit the 20-yard line or between the 20-yard line and the goal line, or if, somebody catches it in that area. When it's in that area between the 20 and the end zone, there could be no you can't call for a fair catch. You have to take it. You have no choice. But again, nobody can move until you catch that ball. But the kickoff team is obviously a lot closer now rather than being as far as they normally would be because they don't get to start moving until it jumps. So if you want to know what that looks like, just look up the XFL kickoff situation or system or whatever, and you will see kind of what it's looking like. It's pretty interesting. I think I'll like it. It's gonna take some growing and learning, exactly how it works. They did make it where you cannot surprise onside kick anymore. I don't like that. It's such a fun part of the game whenever a team does do an onside kick when you weren't expecting it. But now you have to actually let the referees know. You got to check in essentially, which then the other team would know as well. So no more surprise onside kicks. The hip drop tackle did get banned. So if you do get a hip drop tackle called, that was a tongue twister. Um, you will get a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down. So I get it. It's kind of hard to want to avoid injuries, but also not slow the game down and ruin the game or make it too soft. Or we've seen how a quarterback, roughing the quarterback has been. So we'll see. It's really going to be how the refs call it. So if anyone who doesn't know what a hip drop tackle is, essentially is when you go to tackle at the hip of the ball carrier, but then you slide down to their feet or down to their ankles. If you're not really sure, if you can't really get a visual, look up Mark Andrews' injury this last season. You will kind of see a good example of tackling at the hips, falling down, falling on the ankle, and causing some pretty nasty ankle injuries. So I get the premise of it. It's just the referees I don't trust. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But another one, just kind of a me thing, but the Penguins did just beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1, and Jake Genzel's return to Pittsburgh, and he had an amazing ovation. But I'm very happy to see him lose that game. He had this quote after the game where he said that if it was up to him, he would have stayed, but the team had other options or other plans. And that sucks because, like, a player like that, that he wanted to stay and he didn't get to stay. You know, you don't know if it's a situation where he didn't accept the contract or if they just never offered him one. But either way, it sucks. A lot of Penguins fans are going to be in delusional land thinking he's just going to come back in free agency. It's not going to happen. I mean, once you trade a player like that, they tend to hold on to that really tight. And if you do try to sign them back, they more than likely will not come back. So happy to see Jake. Happy to see him lose. But good luck to him and the Carolina Hurricanes. And hopefully they do go out there and win the Stanley Cup. It won't be the Penguins this year. So I'm all for the Hurricanes going and getting Jake another one. On a non sports related topic, which is kind of more why I even wanted to record today, is after years of watching anime, but just hating the idea of mangas, I've really just been like, it's not for me. I don't really like reading comics that much. You know, I'm not going to really like it. But I've been thinking about it more and more. We're kind of at that point where Demon Slayers and we're waiting for the new season to drop one episode at a time. And I got curious. We have this bookstore in my city, and we went check it out, and they had, I mean, walls of mangas from every anime I've ever watched, some I've been interested in, and oh my god, it was like heaven. A bunch of anime sections and video game sections. It was an awesome store. It's called Second and Charles. It's pretty awesome. Well, I was going there for Jujutsu Kaisen. They didn't have the one that I wanted, which would have been where the anime is currently at. So I went with Demon Slayer. They did have the one that I would need to kind of, I had to read the previous edition online to kind of catch myself up because there was like a little gap between where the movie ends and where the book ends and begins. So I did have to do that, but I did get my first manga and I read the whole thing in basically, I'd say a day. I didn't start reading it until late afternoon the first day, and then I finished it this morning and downloaded and subscribed to Shonen Jump, and I've been reading the rest of the volumes on there. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm addicted. I mean, immediately addicted. I did not think I would like it so much. Not being able to see the visuals. I'm such a visual person. Like that's why I love Demon Slayer. It's because the art is fantastic in the anime. But man, the way they're able to show you the same scenes you see in the anime, but like with more colorful language, a little bit more graphic. Like you get to see a different side of the anime you didn't see before. Like just them using curse words a little bit more freely. They're a little bit more aggressive. I really like it. I've laughed out loud while reading it. Like Zenitsu in Demon Slayer. Like his character is always really funny to me in the anime, but it's like he's even more unhinged in the manga, which is insane to me. It's so funny. I laughed a lot. So I'm getting into that. I have a friend of mine um, who's getting her husband to send me the first 11 books for Chainsaw Man. I've never watched the anime, so that's gonna be my first time really reading it first and then watching it after. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna finish Demon Slayer. I'm probably gonna read Chainsaw Man, and then I'm gonna send those back because I don't want to forget, let them get damaged, whatever. And then I'm not sure. I might jump into Jujutsu Kaisen like I originally planned. There's so many routes I want to go. I really can't afford to collect like a whole box set or whatever of an anime that I've liked or a manga that I want to read just because I can't afford it. That's why I got Shonen Jump. But I think I kind of want to do like I get if I've watched an anime or I've read a manga online, I want to get like the first volume of that and kind of like have a collection of all the animes and mangas I've read, buy the first volume. I would like to have like a Naruto box set because I mean it's my favorite anime of all time. You know, it's more of a collection type of thing. So that would be really fun. Not really sure, how I want to do it all, but my my significant other, she my girlfriend, she is a big reader and um we already kind of have like bookshelves and stuff, but I kind of want to have my own where I could put my mangas up there and any collection things I have. I have like some Demon Slayer figurines I have in my bathroom right now. I have a couple of comics. I don't really read them, but I'm a really big Spider-Man fan. I mean, huge Spider-Man fan. So I have like a comic or two of those, and so I have a cool little setup that I want to set up one day. We don't really have like an extra room in our place right now, but if I ever get like an extra room, I want to just like really set it up. Like I said, I can't afford to have one of those awesome anime walls where people have like whole sets of mangas and all that, but I do really think I like the whole volume 1 thing. It might seem a little, I guess, dumb to some people because just volume 1, like, what am I gonna do with that? But it's like a collection, I can look at my wall and say, "I've read and or watched every single one of these, in my lifetime," so that'd be fun. Still wouldn't be cheap. I mean, I'm watching more anime every month, and now I'm gonna start reading anime or manga, so it might still be costly, but it'll be way cheaper than buying, you know, 30 books of Demon Slayer and then, whatever. I know they have some like, One Piece that I can't even imagine how many books they have, but I'm addicted. I mean, like I am immediately addicted to it. So that's a lot of fun for me. Mostly because Shonen Jump exists. If it didn't, I'd be so sad. I still definitely prefer reading it from the book though, because whenever I finished the volume for Demon Slayer, then moved on to Shonen Jump, I'm still reading it very quickly and I'm enjoying it. But it's just something about having the cover art and flipping through the pages that just is such a good experience. So, like I said, whenever I get to a good financial point, maybe I'll buy a box set of the Naruto ones or Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen or one of the ones that I'm a really big fan or like Dragon Ball would be so sick with Akira Toriyama passing recently. It'd be really cool to have like some of his original Dragon Ball volumes and stuff. That would be a lot of fun as well. So I'm not sure exactly what my plan is with manga, but as you can tell as I'm rambling, I really love it. Like it's a lot of fun for me. I'm gonna go back to that store hopefully soon. Don't know if I'm gonna buy anything right now, but I just like to go look around. Like we don't have a lot of that kind of stuff in my area. We don't really have things that you can go to like Barnes and Noble and get, some manga over there. You can go to the public library and see these like really awfully taken care of mangas that are there for checkout. But it's the but Barnes and Noble is just it's like a novelty type section in a way. A couple anime things. They have some mangas, but over here, this whole like part of the store just feels like I just want to sit there all day, look through mangas, see more that I didn't even know like what they looked like. Like I saw I think it's Berserk. I saw the complete editions. That thing was like a freaking dictionary. I was like, man, that was so intimidating. And I saw somebody said on Reddit that that's like a not beginners level, manga to get started in. And I see why, because that was ginormous. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just all the works in one. Kinda like Death Note has, like, a really big book that's, like, for the whole story, but no, there was, like, 7 editions of that size of book, so I don't think that'll be where I go anytime soon. Um, I'm really curious about when I read Chainsaw Man because right now, like Demon Slayer was easy. I already knew what was going on. I was able to read kind of like where I finished off. So it's like it's a continuation rather than starting off learning characters. So I'm really curious to see kind of how I attach to that. Or if I'm only really going to get attached to animes that I'm already watching, like Frieren, I might start reading that eventually because I'm really enjoying the anime now. I think on the first episode, I did mention that I was starting to watch it. Now I think I'm about 12 episodes in. I'm a huge fan. Just really where they're at right now, where like she's just so chill and like she really has no cockiness to her, but at the same time, like she knows she's that girl, like she's gonna mess you up. and then she just randomly will show how much magic she has and just take apart people that you thought were going to give her a good fight, and she just one pieces them. So that's really fun. That's the anime I'm watching all on right now. Um, I need to finish the newest episode of Solo Leveling as well. So that'll be fun. So that is my manga and anime rant. If you are not an anime or manga fan, I am sorry that you listen to all that, but it's going to probably be a big topic for me for the next few episodes just because it's like new, and I love whenever something new really gets my attention. I want to talk about it nonstop. So just be ready for that. I will be talking about all the books and stuff I'm reading. The final thing I want to talk about is WrestleMania. My wrestling fans, we haven't mentioned wrestling. We haven't really advertised talking about wrestling. But I have been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. I'm an Attitude Era kid. I loved wrestling. I took a little break from wrestling, probably from like 2006, 7, or like it was on and off from 2006 to like 2010. But then like the 2010s, I really wasn't around for. I started kind of watching in 2015 again for a little bit, but then I kind of jumped off again. I'd watch all the WrestleManias, but um, for the last few years, I've been fully invested again. WrestleMania card is insane. I do not have everything written down, so I'm going to go off of memory, and I'm going to kind of say who I think is going to win or whatever. But so thinking off the top of my head, because this past Monday night we had the Rock segment where he made Cody bleed and was really like you know, showing that whole final boss persona. We had the CM Punk and Drew and Seth Rollins segment, which was perfect. I mean, I heard that idiot actually went over the time limit it was supposed to go to. Didn't matter. It was literally perfect. So that's going to be amazing. So to kind of go from the bottom up, tag team ladder match. That's just going to be fun. At this point, I don't know if I care who wins. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. I'd love to see Street Profits, like, actually win something. I've been wanting them to win tag titles for years now, and, but the thing they got going with Bobby right now is just not working. So I don't know really for sure. I don't even really have all the teams. I know the teams I don't think are even all set yet. So I'm not really sure who I want to win outside of that. I'd have to look at the list, but it's still gonna be an amazing match. So that's gonna be fun. Next off, really thinking about it is the IC title. Gunther's gonna win that. Unless they're gonna add something to this whole mix. If they're gonna have someone interfere, like if Ilya comes up, that would be sick. And if he costs Gunther his title and then Sammy wins and then they go through all that, that would be a lot of fun. But I really wanted Chad Gable in that match. I did not want Sammy. Love Sammy. He deserves a title after all the bloodline work he did, the previous years. But right now, it just didn't work. It just feels like he's forced in there. Don't like it that much. I think they had him lose to Bronson Reed. I think that was a try to fuel that whole he can't do it, but then he finds a way to do it. I don't know, but it should have been Chad Gable, and I will never stop sticking to that. For the Bloodline tag team match, I think The Rock and Roman will win that, and we're gonna get a Bloodlines rules championship match. I think that's just the foregone conclusion at this point. Probably gonna be a lot of interruptions. Probably gonna be a lot of bloodline stuff that's gonna happen to make that happen. But I do think The Rock and Roman are gonna win to kind of show them how strong they are, just for Cody to you know prevail in the end. I have a lot of people thinking about if The Rock, I mean, not The Rock, if Stone Cold or John Cena or somebody might come out because they're rival, their big rivalries with Rock over the years. So that's a possibility. Not sure. For the women's title match, Bailey better win. That's all I'm saying. Bailey has done so much amazing work over the years. It's her time. She needs to have it right here. Bailey should win. She needs to win. She deserves to win. She's done so much great work over the years. Give her that damn title. That's all I'm saying. And let her come out to Paramore. That's what she wants. That's what we all want. Give it to her. Rhea versus Becky. I think this will just be another stepping stone for Rhea. I think they'll put on an amazing match. but I do think Becky comes short in here. I don't really know who should be the one to eventually dethrone Rhea because I mean, there's nobody. I mean, Liv Morgan would be amazing. Obviously, she's a former champion. They definitely have the history, former tag team champion. Or no, I don't think they ever won the tag team champions. They tried, they kept failing. That's what ended up causing the fallout. But former tag team partners, they were, they had great chemistry. Really, they were my favorite women's tag team for sure. For the last few years, whenever they were together. So I do think Rhea's gonna win though. The Logan Paul match is funky because like Logan Paul is really good publicity for the US title. But man, I want Randy to have a title again. I don't think he needs to be in the world title, situation, but I do want to see him walk away with the US title in this situation. I do think they're gonna have like Kevin Owens and Randy are like kind of buddies, and they're gonna kind of have a falling out, and that's what's gonna cause Logan to win. But I don't want him to. He's great in the ring. I love it, but we have enough part time stuff going on. If we get Cody the world champion, that's active. If we get the title off of Logan, that becomes more active. That would be good. So we'll kind of see how that goes. And then the AJ Styles match, I do think the LA Knight comes out on top of this. You want to keep some of his momentum going at least. It's not perfect right now. He was kind of the top, then Randy and everybody, CM Punk, everybody came back. Kind of fell down a little bit, but he still gets huge pops. He's still a fan favorite. So give him the win, keep him on top. AJ Styles at this point is just here to help people get over in his career. I don't think he's, ready to be in the title matches again. Maybe a mid card down the line, but let LA Knight get some more flowers there. So that would be my guess for that match. And then for the Rollins match, I think you give it to Drew. He has been the greatest heel lately. I mean, his trolls are amazing. His social media presence is amazing. Just fantastic. I think you give him the title, and then when CM Punk comes back, you kind of revisit the Seth thing and the Drew thing, and you come out with this amazing, triple threat down the line where either Drew will keep it or maybe Seth or CM Punk could get it. I would like to see CM Punk win the title again. Still not sure about him though. Love him on the mic, but the little bit of ring time we've seen, he still looks very gassed, old. So we'll see though. Lots of time until then. So that's my predictions because I just probably more matches. I don't remember. Um, I'm gonna probably do a WrestleMania review after WrestleMania next weekend. So look forward to that if you are a wrestling fan. So that will be my episode. This was impromptu. I just talked about what was on top of my head. I'm probably gonna make a lot of mistakes. I probably fumble over my words a lot. I'm not editing that stuff out. I'm gonna edit like really big pauses and if I just completely lost all my footing. But other than that, this is gonna be a raw episode. Just listen to me ramble about wrestling because I'm a wrestling fan. Listen to me ramble about manga because I am now a manga fan. And listen to me talk a little bit about sports, but sports have their whole episode to themselves. So this episode is meant for, just what I feel like talking about. So thank you for listening. I really appreciate you. Don't know what's going to be the next episode. I can't tell you that. Maybe I'll take a week off and just kind of come back with the WrestleMania review. Not sure yet, but we're going to see if something major happens in sports. I might go through that. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. This is the third episode. I hope that I am continuing to improve in some ways. If you notice things that I am just fucking up every time, let me know. Email me, comment on one of my social media posts, whatever. Follow the YouTube if you care to do so. It'll help down the line. I do eventually plan to make real content on there and not just episodes. So, once again, thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.